kick it off.
Yes.
It's great to be All right. Yeah, that's fine. I guess.
This one, right?
How are you? I'm doing good. I don't think I split it. I shook your hand.
It's our principal. It's fine.
Okay.
We may have officially taken out probation.
Alright, I see how it is.
At least you got on the website.
Yeah, fine. It took us a while. Yeah, okay, if she gets on the website. You sure? Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us for 1 Million Cups. I'm your MC, Trezzy, and one of the organizers here at 1 Million Cups. So here in just a minute, we're going to kick it over to Bizzy for a presentation on their business. But first, we're going to go through and do some quick introductions. So everybody take a second to say your name, a little bit about what you do, and then we'll move on to the next person. Again, my name is Trezzy. I am a CTO services consultant. Let me just remember what I do for a second. And I'm also a senior software engineer. I'm going to kick it over. I've already lost track of like tonight. I'm done. Yeah, it's done.
My name is Josh Helling. I'm one of the co-organizers here. I've spent my career as an entrepreneur and executive in the software product development and product management space. I currently consult with startups and growing companies on technology and product strategy.
I'm Chandra Miller-Faden. I'm the Executive Director of Starting Block Madison, but I actually think that my more appropriate title is that I am the custodian of Starting Block Madison. I have two announcements real quick today. One is Starting Block Madison and 1 Million Cups are partners. And we are just having a birthday party because it's just over a year we opened. So last year, June 26th, we had our soft opening. So coming up on Wednesday, June 26th, we are having a party to celebrate our birthday, as well as it's going to be a Mad Minute pitch. We're going to get 1-minute pitches from all of the 8 projects that are part of the Starting Block Social Entrepreneur program, as well as the 6 projects that are in the Generators G-Beta Social Impact Accelerator program. And then 5 pitches from entrepreneurs that are just out in Madison that nobody's seen yet. So please, these are invitations. Please come, please sign up. It should be a lot of fun. There will be cake. And the audience will get to pick the winner of the Mad Minute pitch. So it's going to be like interactive and fun. And then just because I had them, and this is 1 Million Cups, and I like Zach, is I actually brought the little flyers so that everybody who wants Cortado coffee can get a free month of coffee on them. So 2 things to hand out today, and then I'll shut up.
Zach, if you're watching, the next time we pass these out, you need to book a presentation.
Alright, let's kick it on over here. You're up.
You want?
Too many jobs. I know.
Hey, I'm Jason McCullough. I'm an attorney here in town. I work exclusively with startups and emerging companies, doing their corporate work, financing work, and M&A type work.
You'll hear from me later, so I'll skip.
John helps Springfield Welding Manufacturing and Mass Case Products.
I'm James with Calls and Call answering for small businesses. And I just got a quick thing. I'm trying to get to 50 reviews for the Bold Business Book by July. So if anybody reads books and leaves reviews, I will give you a book if you leave a review. So thank you. Oh, awesome.
Michelle Jolly, I'm a health coach. I have my own practice. I'm also working with a company out of Colorado to bring employee benefits, wellness benefit program to Madison, so we're developing it for practitioners and small businesses.
Hi, I'm Trent. I'm a student here on campus and a software developer for the athletics department.
I'm Derek. Ooh, sorry. No, go ahead, Derek. I realize that often what happens is we just go, well, so today I'll cut in with Town News. Oh, and I'm also running the camera, but I just shot the floor. I run the teams, the video and broadcast teams at Town News, so I work a lot with TV stations and newspapers and radio stations. How you do that?
I think I was caught on camera cutting in front of you. I'm Nick Baxter. I work over at Burn CPA, and we specialize in cloud-based solutions for entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Dominic Marco. I'm unemployed.
I'm Lee Bowman. I'm a financial advisor for Private Financial.
I'm Abdullah San. I'm co-founder of Cody Therapeutics. It's a startup company developing nanotherapeutics for cancer. That's a technology from UW Madison.
What was the name of the company?
Cody Therapeutics, C-O-D.
I'm Heather Rake. I'm a real estate agent for Star Company Realtors, and I'm working on a startup with a dog pool here in Madison.
I'm Dan Anderson, and I'm with Baker Tilly.
Sherry Holm, American Family Insurance, within Business Development Innovation on the 6th floor.
Chuck Sarah, intellectual property attorney at the DeWitt Law Firm.
All right, just a couple more things. I promise I'll kick it over to our presenter. One, if you don't already have it, install the 1 Million Cups app on your phone and go check in, because you like us, I guess. And two, quick thank you to our sponsors. Starting Block, Chandra mentioned, partners with 1 Million Cups, so thank you for your continued sponsorship, as well as Dream Bank for the space. Now, looking over to Bizzy. Let's hear it.
Thanks for having me. My name is Candy Phelps. I'm the founder of Bizzy. We're an experiential creative company here in Madison, and we're the creators of the One-Day website and the One-Day branding. So when people hear that we're building a website in one day, the first thing they ask us is, how are you doing that? What is the key here? And most people think that we've developed some kind of magical app or some kind of artificial intelligence or some way to automate the web development process. But unfortunately, I'm still working on this helmet that I would like, where you can just put it on and think about the website that you want to design and it will magically code itself. We don't have this helmet. What we do actually takes talent, it takes experience, it takes process, and it takes execution. And when it works like a charm. So before we talk about exactly what we're doing, I want to tell you about why we created this process in the first place. So traditional web development has a lot of problems in the project management area. And this actually applies to a lot of the creative services that we do. And we have a whole family of one-day services, and most of these problems are baked into all of these projects. But the first problem is that there's email overload and erratic communication. So everybody is overloaded with emails these days. The swarm of digital items that need your attention is ever growing. And a traditional website development, even if we're talking about like a basic WordPress site, it's pretty common to have 200 or 300 emails back and forth between the client. And nobody likes that. Like, we don't like it, our clients don't like it. And whether those communications happen in Slack or project management software, or we're texting back and forth, whatever that communication is, it's too much and nobody likes it. Unpredictable timelines. So this is a huge problem for both the developers and the clients. Because we have to get information from our clients in order to do our jobs, we have to, that's what all those emails back and forth are about. It's like, hey, send me the information for this. Where's the content for that? Can you have the photos? And we can't control our clients, and we don't know when they're going to get back to us. So sometimes they might get back to us in a couple minutes, but more often it's hours, days, weeks, or even months before they get back to us. So we can't tell them when their website is going to launch because it's largely on them, to get back to us. So this is a problem because businesses want to know, like, is my site going to be up before that trade show? Is it going to be up by the end of the month? Like, I need to launch my business and get going, but we can't promise anything because we can't control that communication and that timeline. Third problem is complicated jargon. So this is just the nature of what we do, but because we're building websites, a lot of small business owners get overwhelmed and frustrated by the amount of technical jargon that we're talking about. So the problem is, even the contracts that they're signing, sometimes they don't understand what that includes. So for example, most people who are designing a website would say they include SEO, but what that actually means could be night and day difference depending on who's building the site. But the clients do not have the knowledge and the jargon to even ask the right questions to clarify those services or to know what's actually included. This becomes complicated when we're asking them via email usually to send us information about their SSL certificate or their domain registrar. It's frustrating and it's difficult for clients to be immersed in that new language.
Surprising and incalculable fees is a big problem for clients. Because of all of these things, a lot of times the scope will change during the project because the client really just doesn't know what they are asking for at the beginning. And then sometimes as the project unfolds, they start asking for, oh wait, could I sell this online instead of just like showing it online, and things change. And so that's a problem for both the client and the developers, because we want to give you a flat rate for your website so you can predict in your budget how much that's going to be. The problem is, things always change, and the longer the website takes, the more the scope is going to change, and then you start getting those add-on fees, and that's a problem for for us, for customer service, and for the client to have predictability in their budget. And the last problem is kind of just a culmination of all of these problems, which is momentum drag. And this is actually the worst problem to have, because there's a book called The Progress Principle, and some Harvard researchers did years of studies about what impacts people's inner work happiness, and they found that more than anything else, progress in the work that you do is actually the #1 factor in happiness. So as there are setbacks, or as projects are canceled, or as work that you've done have changed or get thrown away, that's like the #1 reason why people quit or feel frustrated at their jobs. So because of all of these things, we have created the One Day website. And we've listened to our clients over 10 years. I had run like a traditional creative company, and what we found is that clients don't actually care about like what exactly is included and all the bells and whistles on their website. What they want is to see progress. They want the process to be efficient. They want it to be convenient for themselves. They want simplicity, and they want predictability. They want to feel under control. They want to feel accommodated, valued, supported, and well-informed. So none of these are things that we would put on a traditional scope, right? Like, these are just feelings and emotions that we want our customers to have. And these are the things that they truly value. One of the things that we have developed for the process, so the big thing is that we work in person with our clients. This is like the big game changer that we decided was going to fix a lot of these problems. And part of the process for us was developing these tangible tools that make the process more efficient and more interactive for our clients. We have core value cards. That's just one of the exercises we do during a lot of our different services. The font finder cards, the reason why these are helpful is because a lot of times we're designing something for a client, they don't have the language that they need to describe what it is they want, but they can point to it and they can say, I like that, I don't like that. And so that's where working in person and having these tangible tools accelerates the process and makes it more effective, so that we can actually do a better job getting to the end result than if we were just emailing back and forth, or if the client's just sitting there saying, I'll know it when I see it. I can't tell you what logo I like, but just design 1 million of them and then I'll tell you, I'll tell you which one I like. So we have all these physical tools that we've developed, and it makes it more of an experiential process. So that's where we get the experiential creative agency. The solutions we've come up with, we built off of these kind of 5 principles. So innovation, this is core to what we do. Like, our process is totally different than what anyone else is doing. Like I said, we're working in person, and we're rethinking the way all of this is happening. Like, instead of taking this huge project that takes 3 months to do, we're taking those 40, 50, or 60 hours of work, and we're just doing it all simultaneously in one day. So we're not doing any less work. We're actually doing the same amount of work. We're just doing it at the same time instead of spacing it out with all of that dead time baked in. Exploration is a big thing. We use those tangible tools I just showed in order to get the client to, we really dig deep into their aesthetic taste, their customers, their journey, their business goals. And this allows us to actually write the text for their website for them. It allows us to design better things for them, because we're really getting immersed in what it is that they like and who they are as people. And then communication, this is the big thing. Instead of emailing 1 million times back and forth, we're just talking in person. And this changes everything. It changes, it eliminates miscommunication. So instead of me sending you a confusing email and you maybe not understanding it and then not answering the right thing back, I can see if you're confused because I see your face looking confused, and I can rephrase or explain more, and all of that human-to-human communication makes for a so much more efficient process. The collaboration. So we bring in our entire team to work for a day with our clients. So we have a developer, we have a designer, we have a writer, we have a creative director, and everyone's working toward the same goal. And because we're working as a team, that's how much we could get so much work done in one day. And then acceleration. So we don't believe in cutting corners. We believe in quality, but we don't believe in dragging this process out over months and months, because small business owners and startups need to get launched. Like every minute that you're not having a website online is an opportunity cost. So we want to make sure that you get your website out there into the world, start selling products, start selling services, and then you can always adjust and evolve after that, because your website is a living, breathing thing that can always be changed or added onto, etc. So these are our 5 pillars. This is how we've designed this process, and it works so well that basically we've decided to only do this. We stopped doing all of our other services, so now everything we do is in this one day time frame. And now we're taking it to the next level because we've had a lot of interest from other developers, freelancers, and creative agencies who want to know exactly how we're doing what we're doing and what that process is. So we've decided to license the model to other people. So this is kind of a new area for us. We're just starting our first pilot where we have 4 other creative companies across the world actually. We're going through our online certification process. This is a great way to scale a service-based business. So we're basically, it's not a franchise, but it's basically we're licensing all of our processes, all of our tools, all of the standard operating procedures that we've developed, and we're giving all of that, well, we're selling all of that to other companies and taking them through a training process to make sure that they understand the materials, they understand the skills that are needed to execute on this service. And then we have an ongoing licensing agreement where they basically pay a one-time fee, and then they pay ongoing monthly fees for additional training, support. They get access to all these different tools and video tutorials and things like that. So yeah, this is where we're at right now. We're just starting this process, and it's super exciting, mainly because since we started doing this new process, my life has become amazing. All of a sudden, I went from spending 90% of my time in my email inbox to now I have these super fun, amazing relationships with my clients. We get to do all the fun work that we love doing and none of the crappy work that's just emailing back and forth all day long. Our clients love it. It's super fun and interactive for them, and they get it done, and all of that is just so successful that we are sharing it with the world, so we can hopefully kind of revolutionize the way creatives have been delivering their services and help small businesses and startups launch quicker. So that's everything. I would love if anyone, so I guess one of our biggest challenges that we have is conveying the quality that we are delivering in the sales process. So initially I've gotten lots of different feedback from people that calling it a one-day website kind of makes it sound like it's fast food website. Like it's cheap, it's quick and dirty, and it's dirty, so it's not good. What we're doing is totally exactly what we were doing before and exactly what every other agency is doing. It's just in a different project management style and a different business model. But so I'd love some feedback if anyone has some ideas of how do you convey that quickly without making someone read a bunch of information or watch a video, or maybe just some information like feedback on why you would or wouldn't be interested in a service like this, so we can just get, hone in a little bit more on that marketing message would be great.
This is super interesting. Thank you. What a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
That's not helpful feedback at all. That's just
I appreciate it. Yeah.
And the rest of my questions also not the feedback you're looking for. It's just follow-up questions. So
sure. Yeah. I'm happy to answer any questions.
At the end of this day, I'm gonna get it right. One day website, like it says on the tin. Is there literally a running website when whatever 536 comes and you say bye?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
So basically we guarantee that you will have a website up on the internet by the end of the day. There's a few caveats depending on if you have an existing website. If you want us to leave that up until the website's done, the next day we would migrate the site for you, so it's up but it's not on your domain. the next day we always do like another round of quality assurance, and we let the client do any additional tweaks that they want, because the day is fairly intense. People leave like being like, whoa, my brain hurts. So we like to let them sleep on it and then come back and be like, oh, actually I don't like how that's worded, or I don't like how that looks, so switch it. So there's a little bit of that the next day, but essentially like you wouldn't have to do any of that. Like your site is there, you get it, it's up and live. If it's a brand new site, it's literally live on the internet by the end of the day.
Wow. Where do you do it at? At your office?
Yes, yeah, we have an office in Atwood. Occasionally, if we have too many clients, we will rent another space. We try to keep it under 4 clients at a time, because obviously like the more people there are, the harder it is to make decisions, and that gets a little trickier. But yeah, we have rented some space before when we had more clients than we could fit in our little office.
Candy, I've now seen you present and talk a couple of times, and I've been thinking about this and that concept that you have about what the final product is and how just different it is. I wonder if like some sort of quick video that you have of actually showing the process from the beginning to the end in like a fast forward, either photographs of we start at 9, and this is where we're at 11, and here's the cards, and here's the process, and here's what you get at the end, would be a really effective way to convey it easily.
Yeah,
because
I love
it is
that
so
idea.
different.
We've talked about doing like a time lapse on the actual screen, like the homepage, because it looks ugly up until like 3 o'clock. Like there's a lot of the day is just, it's back end stuff, it's writing content for the clients, it's designing, and so there's a little bit of a, it's like getting little better throughout the day. But if you look at it at 3 o'clock, it looks bad. If you look at it at 6 o'clock, it's like, it's done. So having that like fast, would be really cool. The only trick with that is like a lot of times the web page is like this long, so it gets a little tricky to show that. But I love that idea. We'll definitely, I know we need more video in a lot of our marketing. We have some things, we have some stills of like the tools and things that we use, but I know we could definitely do that. So thank you for that.
Okay, so a couple things. In terms of thoughts on monetization and scale, I think that your tangible tools in and of themselves, and you've probably already thought of this, but I don't know if I have a need right now for a website, but I certainly have a need for those creative tools.
Yeah, that's awesome. We do have an online store where we're selling those individually. We haven't promoted it necessarily right now a lot, mainly because like I'm not prepared for like global fulfillment, because the first few people who found it online just happened to be in Australia and Germany, and I was like, wait, what? Now I have to figure out like global mailing, and I started to, and then it was super complicated and expensive, so I was like, never mind, I'm just gonna shut that part off for now.
I have a program in import-export coming up next week if you want to show up for that.
What is it?
Import-export.
Yeah, I do want to show up for that. I'll check with you on the time, because yeah, it's like a whole new, I thought I was just like, hey, we've already built all this stuff and I'm going to sell it, and actually I started a second business, so I didn't need to do that, but now I have 2 businesses, and now this whole thing with, it's a totally different thing besides our services. We've got a like online course, now I'm like an online entrepreneur, I didn't need to do that, and now we have physical products, so I'm like in manufacturing, and there's a lot of like fulfillment things. So I really kind of created a monster, but it's a super fun monster that I like to hang out with, so I'm excited about that.
So additionally, if you're building websites for startups, there are a lot of additional things services I think you could build into that, such as, if you're fast at building a website, you're probably even faster at building just an experiential click-through type of landing page, where you could assist in doing very quick painted door and multiple prototypes, A/B testing for companies in a tiny amount of time, so that they can really hone in on the where the desirability is for selling.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we have a whole line of services that are in various stages of development right now. So we started with the one-day website, the one-day branding. Those have always kind of been our core offerings. And those are fully developed, like awesomeness. And then we have a few other things that we're experimenting with, like what exactly to include for the different services. But we actually just started a brand naming service, which is basically we will help brainstorm names with you. We'll do kind of like Chuck, don't kill me for this, but we're just doing like look up on the tests, to make sure nobody else is using that brand name kind of stuff. Doing kind of like a first search on Google to make sure that the names that you're thinking about for your startup are viable and available. And then, yeah, we have the One Day Digital that's all about digital marketing. So it's like social media, pay-per-click stuff. We have a one-day SEO and a one-day social that are more specific to those things. We have a one-day strategy. So all of those things are sort of in different phases. And the licensing right now is only the one-day website, just because that's the thing that is, A, people are the most interested in, and B, the most fully developed.
And then the last thing is, just as feedback, I didn't have a very good understanding of who your customer was at the start of your pitch. So it took me a while of just listening to kind of understand, oh, okay, this is the kind of customer, this is the demographic, this is who they're going after. A more succinct message on that would help.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Candy, I have clients who can probably use your business. So what I'd like to know is, what would you consider your 2 or 3 bullet points that sort of take you away from other website developers, make you a little different? I know you mentioned them, but...
Sure. Well, we work in person with our clients.
Sorry?
We work in person with our clients.
Okay.
Did you say the bullet points of what makes us different?
What I think takes you out of the realm of other website developers, why do you think you're special?
Yeah, so we work in person with our clients. That's no one else is doing that. And because we have this extremely tight process, we can do what takes other agencies months in one day. And then we have the tangible tools, and no one else has those. The tangible tools are, all things that I've created, and they not only are fun, but they are actually way more effective than doing the same thing digitally.
And those tangible tools are actually cards that you lay out?
Yeah, so some of them are decks of cards. We have a wireframe kit that's like basically pieces of a website puzzle that we move around to say what's going to be on the homepage. And that, again, like normally that's just done digitally. We would normally make a wireframe for a website homepage before we do any design work, but that it's more effective in real life because we can, like the client can literally lean over and decide things and make changes. So they're a part of the creative process and the decision making instead of us just delivering a wireframe and getting feedback on it. So the whole thing, the client is just input the whole time instead of at these big milestones where all this work has already been done. So a lot of times with the mock-up phase, for example, we would design a mock-up and be like, here's your pixel perfect mock-up, and if they don't like it, then it's like, oh, we were off track and now we have to start all over. But when they're sitting there literally right beside you and you're like, green or blue, which one do you like? They're designing it with you. So that's how we are able to do what we're doing and how the clients are so happy at the end of the day. Instead of, a lot of times people are like, ooh, I don't know if I could like make a decision that fast. And I think that is definitely a kind of person who's not our customer, is someone who wants like weeks to deliberate every decision. If you're like just in general indecisive, you're probably not our client. But every client we've had, they're just so happy at the end of the day because we get that buy-in and that feedback all day long, so the end result is something that they helped create.
Comment on the one-day stuff. At first I thought, yeah, you're right, it does sound a little like maybe it's not what you want. I thought maybe accelerate it, but then at the end there you were talking about one day this, one day that, one day, and then suddenly it's like, oh, that's perfect because you can apply it to all your other products. So right. I came around on it, and I actually think it's perfect. So.
Yeah.
Do you have some sort of system in place for a client that maybe, they're very happy with the website and how it turned out, but maybe 6 months or so down the line they wanted to add some sort of extra page? How do you have some sort of system to kind of handle that? Maybe like, I know the whole thing is one day, but maybe have somebody take I don't know, a few hours to add this one page to the website?
Sure. So right now, we actually have limited our website maintenance services only because I don't have time to offer those right now because we're growing this other side of the business. Eventually, we're going to add that back in, like a lot more support. Right now, we refer people to, we have a creative collective of contractors. And so if somebody needs additional, just like kind of onesie twosie work, they just work with one of those people who is also one of the people who built their website. So they already had that relationship. If they need something big, like they want to add a store or they want to add we're working on a one-day course, so you can add an online course to your website. That will just be a whole another day that you would work with our team. So if you want e-commerce, we actually built an e-commerce website. So you would have to be a previous one-day website customer of ours to add that store, so we can control, we know exactly what it is that we're adding on to. But we built a 3,000 product e-commerce store for a client, just hooking into their light speed, POS system in one day. And that's the kind of project that would take a year if you were just messing around for months, trying to get access to different accounts. But we brought in our client, and we were able to hook up her PayPal and hook up her bank accounts and all of this. We didn't get photos on all the products. That's something she's working on over the next however many months or years. But people can just buy any of the products in her store. All the inventory is tied in. So that was an additional service that we did after we had already done the one-day website.
I've got a question from online from our streaming audience.
Oh, that's exciting.
Olivia.
There's somebody out there.
And she asks, how have you protected your process IP?
Yeah, so that's a big thing. I was actually just talking about that with Jason, that we've been doing this process for 3 years now, and it's only been the last year or so that we're just doing this and that we're starting this other branching out. And I've been very naive/generous with my giving of information about exactly what we're doing. And we do work with all subcontractors right now, and all of those subcontractors have access to our process. They've been trained in our process. And so that is something where I'm now finally working with a lawyer to get more, we make our contractors sign non-competes. We are working on getting even the clients to have a little clause in their contract about you can't just go tell our competitors all the stuff that we did. So, I don't like doing any of that, and I wish I didn't have to do it, but now that I'm in this process, I realize actually talking to a lawyer is super important for just the service, but also as we scale into this licensing, it's the most important thing you can do. When I first had the idea to do this, I was I'm not ready for a lawyer, this is still just a new idea. But it was the lawyer that I talked to who gave me really important strategy on what is it that I'm even protecting, what are the most important pieces, and how to go about doing that. So we are in the process of trademarking the phrase "one day," which was the lawyer's genius strategy move, something I wouldn't have ever even known or thought of to try, because, for many reasons, but basically what that will do is prevent anybody can copy us, right? They can start selling one-day services, but they won't be able to call it a one-day website once that trademark has gone through. I'm trademarking Bizzy. Probably no one's going to try to steal that, but you never know. We've got all these licensing agreements, non-competes, different contracts in place for the licensees that they have to basically do as well. So we're putting all of that in place. It's extremely expensive, and it's a super boring job, but it's really, really important.
I know we disagree on this. I would prioritize where you spend your money in terms of protection, because I don't know your roadmap. I'm not sure if if you've received seed funding, any of that.
We have no money.
So
we're just bootstrapping.
Right. So is that part of your eventual strategy? Are you going to look for seed funding? Are you looking to grow this in terms of venture cap, or are you just looking to build your business through revenue?
I don't think we're ever going to look for investors, mainly because if I was 25 years old, I would definitely do that, but my impression of having this startup life doesn't work with the life I have right now. So I think I'm just building a lifestyle business that, will bootstrap, and, I've already invested a lot into this new growth. And, balancing the two is tricky. And if I had $100,000 to hire, another person and to do much more stuff, I would definitely, it would go a lot faster, which is right now the struggle for me is just like how slow everything is. It's taking forever.
So it's interesting to hear you say that, because you're like, so if you're building a lifestyle business and you're not interested in, the world, the landscape of the startup world, then is all the protection necessary, right? Because if it's a lifestyle company and you're getting traction and the right amount of traction and the right amount of customers,
well,
is the 20,000 or whatever, is that money well spent?
No,
I don't know.
I think it is, because the idea itself, as you can't protect an idea, right? There's already copycats out there since I've been doing this, including one of my past subcontractors. So that was kind of where I was like, oh, okay, I need to stop just like telling everyone what we're doing and making that all fine. So the competition will start like coming in. I already feel it. We started 3 years ago, and now if you Google One Day Website, there are other people out there doing it, not doing exactly what we're doing, but this concept of working in person, which I thought I invented, it's starting to gain traction, just the idea. So I feel like we need to stake our landscape as we invented this process, we have the trademarks, we have the intellectual property, and we'll sell it to you if you want to copy us. We'll help you copy us if you want, because so that's kind of my strategy, is sell the information before they just take it.
So I think we've got time for 2 more questions.
Well, this is just a statement. You can protect your ideas by patent, and it's possible you might have something there to protect. But I think what you're doing is probably the right thing by protecting all of the surrounding things. The trademark, I think, is very important. If you get busy like that, you'll be able to protect it no matter how it's spelled, as long as it sounds the same. So if someone comes up with B-U-S-Y,
right,
they still cannot use it. You can prevent them from doing it. The other thing I highly recommend is your cards, your deck of cards, however they are, all can be protected by copyright. If you haven't thought about that, I would certainly do it. You may even have some trade secrets, the way you do business. If you have a structured way of doing business, which gives you a leg up on your competitors, and you can kind of keep that a secret, you can tie your clients into a confidentiality agreement while they're doing that.
Yes.
And then if someone does steal it from you, they do take it from you, you do have an action against them. And that's one way that you can protect the way you're doing things, which makes it different from the way other people are doing it. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm in various stages of all of that. The copyright process, basically you have to write everything down before you can copyright it, as far as those standard operating procedures. And that's what the licensing, I basically am writing a book, essentially, of exactly how we do the process. And then that is what I will eventually copyright as sort of some of those trade secrets, and the cards themselves, all of that stuff I'm copywriting, but
And even your websites. As you develop a website, if it's a very unique style of a website, you can protect that. I've had clients that come in and they've spent thousands and thousands of dollars developing theirs, only to have someone in the state of Oregon just change the names and use the exact same website, the same style, same pictures.
Wow.
And we've had to go after them because of that. But the good news is they actually did spend the $400 or $500 that it takes to protect it by copyright.
Sure.
And we were able to shut these people down.
Yeah, it's all super interesting to me. The copywriting is way less expensive than the trademarking. It's simpler. Trademarking is more complex, and then of course if you get a patent, that's way more complex. It sounds very complex to me. Any other questions, or we need to wrap it up here?
Last one.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking around for in communities like these, the entrepreneurship world, people to network with, or, accountants, lawyers?
Sure.
You're already talking with a lot of patent lawyers.
Yeah, I had my lawyer who I'm super happy with. you know, right now, a lot of it is just me doing the legwork, and that's just because we're bootstrapping and we don't have the funding to bring in. What I would love is somebody who's like specializes in systems and processing to be like, to come in after me, because I'm really more of a creative person, and to like tighten up all those processes. And I've like tried to convince a few people I know to quit their jobs and be business partners with me, but it hasn't worked. So right now, I mean, we're always looking for good subcontractors. So, you know, designers, writers, WordPress developers, we have, you know, a good team right now, but you never know when someone's gonna take a full-time job or get too busy to help out. So I'm always kind of interviewing for those positions. So yeah, thanks very much, everyone.
All right, let's hear it for Bizzy. So, Candy will be hanging out for a little bit after this, I assume?
Yes, I will.
Great, business cards and everything.
Yep.
One last reminder, if you haven't already, go ahead and install the 1 Million Cups app and go check in so we know how many people showed up. I think is why, right? Sounds right. Anyways, everybody, have a good rest of your day. Thank you one more time.